Hello everyone, welcome. With the launch of OneFS version 9.0, Isilon or OneFS now has the ability to use the S3 protocol to store objects in the file system. So today we're going to walk through the setup and configuration of S3 in OneFS 9.0. Alright, so to start, what we're going to do is head over to the protocols section. So as we can see, we now have the object storage S3 section down here. So we're going to go ahead and select that. Under buckets, you can see we do not have any buckets created yet. What we're going to want to do first is head over to zone settings and select the bucket root path. So you can see I already have one selected right there. If I pull up Windows Explorer and navigate to the IFS directory, we can see there's the S3 directory right there, and that is what I'm making my my root path. So that is the bucket root path. As you will notice, this is access zone aware, so you can have different buckets for different access zones for that logical separation of the data. I only have the system access zone, the default one, so I'm going to leave it at that. But from here we can go ahead and create our bucket. So once again, we're in the system access zone, and I am going to create my new bucket. So I'm going to name this just JB bucket. I can go ahead and select the owner. I do have this tied into Active Directory, so I can go ahead and search for my user. All right, in the path, what we are going to do is make this ifs/s3/JB bucket. All right. This does not already exist, so we can go ahead and create that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Go and create bucket. All right. As we can see, we now have the new directory for my bucket that I just created. All right, from here, what we're going to want to do is enable the S3 service. So we need to enable S3 service. S3 on OneFS can use HTTPS or HTTP, and you can see the default ports associated with that. So if you want to use HTTP using port 9020, you're going to need to go ahead and enable that as well. We're going to save those changes. From here, we need to go to key management and actually create our user ID and get a key for our user. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to go ahead and select my user. BJB, browsing through Active Directory. All right, we found my user right there. We're going to go and select him and go ahead and create a key. So whenever I did that, a couple things happened. One, we can see the access ID was created right here. So this is what we'll need to actually access our bucket. You don't actually use the username, you use the access ID. And then of course you also need the secret key, which was created down here. So I'll go ahead and copy that. From here we're able to access OneFS, or IFS via S3. So I'm going to open up my S3 browser. Drag it over here. All right, from here we can give it this account name. I'm going to use just JB bucket OneFS for account type in S3 browser, which is the application I'm using right here to browse S3 on OneFS. We're going to change that to S3 compatible storage. Our REST endpoint, simple. We use 192.168.25 and colon 9020. So here we're going to be using HTTP to access it, and we know that because we're using that port. If we're using HTTPS, we would use 9021. From here, we're going to grab our access key ID. And then we'll need our secret key. So we'll go ahead and copy and paste that as well. All right, we'll go ahead and deselect the use SSL. All right, and we'll go ahead and add the new account. All right, and as we can see, it did pop up. There's nothing currently in the bucket, but if I wanted to go ahead and add something, I'm gonna go ahead and add putty. I'm just gonna go and upload putty. So we're accessing OneFS via S3 right now. All right, so I'm going and adding the executable for S3 browser as well. You see that road as well. So here we can see we're clearly accessing OneFS via S3 protocol. It was very easy to get set up, very user friendly. From here, if we open up Windows Explorer and browse back to our bucket that we created, we can see now the 2 files that we have written. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the day.